We live in a culture that tells us more is always better. More tasks, more goals, more achievements, more hustle, more noise, more speed. If you are not doing enough, you are falling behind. But what if the opposite were true? What if doing less actually created more? This sounds impossible in a world obsessed with output, and yet when you look closely, you see it everywhere. Think of music. It is not the endless stream of notes that creates beauty, but the pauses between them. The silence gives shape to the sound. Think of art. It is not the entire canvas filled without space, but the balance of color and emptiness that creates impact. Think of conversation. It is not the non-stop talking that creates connection, but the listening in between. Doing less does not mean absence. It means focus. It means intention. It means space for what matters to breathe. When you do less, you create more clarity, because your energy is no longer scattered across 1,000 meaningless tasks. It is gathered, concentrated, powerful. Like sunlight through a magnifying glass, it gains strength by being focused. When you do less, you create more creativity, because the mind, no longer overwhelmed, begins to wander, to play, to imagine. Some of the greatest ideas arrive not in busyness, but in stillness, while walking, resting, daydreaming. When you do less, you create more presence, because your attention is no longer divided. You can fully taste the meal, fully listen to the person in front of you, fully inhabit your own breath. And in presence, life deepens. But this truth is uncomfortable, because it challenges everything we were taught. We were taught that rest is laziness, that slowing down is failure, that doing less is weakness. So we keep adding, filling our calendars, saying yes to everything, believing we're becoming more, while secretly feeling emptier. This is the burnout trap. More effort, less meaning, more activity, less life. Doing less is not neglect. It is wisdom. It is refusing to confuse motion with progress. It is choosing depth over breadth. It is saying, I will not measure my worth by how much I can carry, but by how fully I can live what I choose to hold. Of course, doing less is not easy. It requires courage. The courage to say no, the courage to disappoint others, the courage to resist the addiction to busyness. But this courage is the doorway to freedom. Imagine your life with fewer obligations, but deeper ones. Fewer possessions, but ones that truly serve you. Fewer conversations, but ones that nourish your soul. This is not less. This is more space, more peace, more meaning, more life. Doing less creates more because it aligns you with the natural rhythm of existence. Look at the seasons. Winter does less. It rests, it conserves, it restores. And because of that rest, spring can bloom. Without the pause, there is no abundance. We are not separate from this rhythm. We are nature too. We need our winters, we need our pauses, we need our less, so that our more can have meaning. So how do we begin? Start small. Choose one area of your life and simplify it. Clear one corner of clutter. Remove one unnecessary obligation from your schedule. Take one breath before rushing into the next task. Feel the space it creates, then expand. Learn the art of subtraction. Ask not just what do I want to add, but what can I release? Because often what weighs us down is not what we lack, but what we carry that we do not need. And as you release, notice what grows. Clarity grows, joy grows, connection grows, all because you made space. Doing less is not about shrinking your life, it's about making it wide enough to hold what actually matters. So let the culture chase more, let the world drown in excess. You can choose a different path. You can choose less and discover it was more all along. Because in the end, the measure of a life is not how much you did, but how deeply you lived. And depth is always born in space. Doing less creates more truth, more beauty, more life, and the quiet freedom to be, not just to do,